By now, you all must know that I love baking, and mainly because, well, my whole house gets really filled with this divine smell or warm and cozy smell of the smell of baking breads or cakes, whatever it's really appetizing. So, well, this time through Jagee's cookbook, I'm going to show you, well, chocolate chip muffins with a twist. And what's a twist? Well, you'll have to wait and see, don't you? Now, muffins, as we all know. Now, I have shown you a lot of muffins before. My healthy muffins, banana muffins, apple muffins, a lot of muffins before. Now, muffins, as we know, or we might know, they are quick breads, okay? There's a very, very big difference between cupcakes and muffins. Cupcakes usually are small cakes, but muffins, they are quick breads or breads, which cake-like breads, usually quick breads. And the ingredients or the measurements of the ingredients might vary. Usually in cupcakes, they have frosting on it, and muffins don't have frosting. And it's usually with oil and things like that, and muffins is with butter or margarine and everything. Now, the fat content, okay, in muffins are usually much lesser than the cupcakes. So if you tend to understand the measurements, then you will know the basic difference between cupcakes and muffins. This episode is for, well, I told you it has a twist because it contains oats in it. As usual, Jagee has everything healthy in her recipes. This one, well, I don't want a typical muffin. I always want some nutritive value in what we eat. After all, it's our body and it's our responsibility to look after ourselves. So, this time for my chocolate chip muffins, I'm going to show you a really good muffin with a twist. Wait and see. As with all muffins, we have to do the muffin method, and that is, well, mix the dry ingredients together and the wet ingredients together. That's usually how muffins are mixed up, and that's easy. That way you can understand the process much quicker. Like I told you, muffins are quick breads, so they are quick. The actual process, there is no creaming or beating method. Everything is quick. So it's also very easy for lazy people also. Anyway, first of all, we have to mix the dry ingredients, okay? Now, you can mix it in a bowl like this, but for easier things, to make it much easier, I'm going to mix the whole thing in a processor. Not the whole thing, actually, just the dry ingredients first, so that you can understand much better. So, in my processor goes 1 cup of all-purpose flour. 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Okay? In that goes. Then we need 3/4 cup of oatmeal. Now, this is the twist in Jagee's chocolate chip muffins. I have to introduce some healthy thing in my dishes, because otherwise I feel very sad, because I need to feel that I'm eating healthy, and because of that I want my viewers to eat healthy too. So for that, 3/4 cup of oats. Now this is oatmeal. Oatmeal is, I've told you, powdered oats. What you have to do first is take 3/4 cup of just normal oats, okay, instant oats. Put it in the blender, not the processor, in the blender, and really mill it down or process it, okay, like this. Process it into real fine powder. So you actually get oatmeal. So here we have 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 3/4 cup of oatmeal. With that, I'm going to add the rest of the dry ingredients, a pinch of salt. If you have blood pressure or anything, avoided. Okay, then we have 2 teaspoons, okay, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons. Baking powder. Okay, and then we just whisk these ingredients together. That is the dry ingredients. Okay. That's it, okay? So the dry ingredients are done. Now what we need to do is the wet ingredients. The wet ingredients include, well, 1 egg, okay, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of milk, 1/3 of a cup of oil, any flavorless oil. It can be sunflower oil, canola oil, corn oil, anything except coconut oil or any very flavored oil. Okay, so it should be flavorless, colorless oil like this. Muffins, we usually don't use butter because we usually keep the fat content very low. That's the usual method. Okay, just whisk the whole thing up. And with that, add, okay, 1.5 cup of sugar. 1.5 cup of sugar. Now, because it's a muffin, it's not a cupcake, it's a muffin, you don't need it that sweet, okay? It's like a quick bread, so might as well keep the sugar content a bit low. 1.5 is more than enough, and we are going to add chocolate chips, don't forget. So we whisk these up. So that takes care of my dry ingredients, my wet ingredients. Now just amalgamate or mix both of them together. Okay. Carefully, just keep this out of the way because we don't need this, and just mix carefully. And with a wooden spoon, it's better. Just give it a mix, a quick mix, okay? It shouldn't be, you shouldn't beat it very hard. Never do that for quick breads or muffins. Just let it find its own way. Just give it a small stir. It might be lumpy, no problem. Now, before that, okay, I need to preheat the oven, okay? You have to preheat the oven for, well, 10 minutes. 180 degrees. Yeah, 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes, okay. Now for the chocolate chips. So I've got 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. Now it all depends upon how much you want, okay? So I'm not going to put the whole thing. I'm just going to leave a bit back because I need to decorate on the top. Like I said, muffins, we don't ice muffins, okay, or frost muffins. Muffins are just, you know, they're eaten just like that. Okay. Now, silicone pan. I don't need to grease this. If you're not using a silicone pan, you have to grease it, okay? You have to prepare your pan. Now, with an ice cream scoop, well, that's easier for me. I always tend to do that. Now, so this measurement usually is for 12 muffins, but here I'm just going to show you 6 muffins, okay? I'm going to use an ice cream scoop, which makes things easier. And always remember, it's going to rise once it's in the oven. It's because it has baking powder. So you have to keep space for it to rise. Do not fill it till the brim, because otherwise you're going to get overflowing muffins, which is not very nice. So what we do is just fill halfway up the muffin tray. Okay. Like I told you, it's for 12 to 16 muffins, depending upon your muffin size too. But here I'm just going to show you 6 muffins, 180 degrees, okay? We need to bake it around 15 minutes. That's it. Let me just keep the oven door open. And there. After around 15 minutes, we'll see how it's done. Now my muffins must be done now because I have this awesome aroma of the baked smell. So let's see exactly how it's done. And well, this took around 15 minutes, 15 to 18 minutes, okay, because it's just 6 muffins I'm doing. When you do it, and if you do it around for 12 muffins, I suggest you wait for 20 to 25 minutes. And as I always say, ovens vary enormously, so you have to take that into consideration. So come with me, let's check it out. Yep, it's done. And it's kind of hot, okay? So what we have to do is we have to wait for this to cool, otherwise it might break or it might split. So once it's cool, if you have a wire rack, it's good. You get in all baking stores. You can just put it on it and let it cool well. Now I have transferred all these muffins from the muffin pan onto a wire rack to cool, okay? Now it's really getting cool. Once it's cool, okay, you can transfer it onto any plate, a serving plate, or you want to store it in a certain baking dish or something, you can do it, or you want to serve guests, whatever. But here I've just kept it for cooling, okay? And now once it's cool, or even when it's hot, just be careful because it might burn your tongue. It's very hot. You can enjoy. So these are my muffins, chocolate chip muffins with a twist, just for you.